You say the hill's too steep to climb. Climb it. You say you'd like to see me try. Try climb it. Will you pick the place and I'll choose the time, and I'll climb the hill my own way. Just wait around for the right day, and as I rise above the tree line in the clouds, I look down, hear the sound of the things you said today. Oh, welcome everybody. It's Saturday night, and you have just been audited by the IRS, the Insomnia Ramble Stream. Thanks for stopping by. And a good morning, Patrice. Good morning, Mark. Good morning, Anti-Hero. And, of course, a very good morning to my co-host and the main draw for this show, Kadun.
Hi, I'm the co-host, and the main draw is the beautiful cupcake next to me.
Ooh!
Oh, I don't think I'm the main draw, though, because I'm not on often enough for that.
Shh, you are tonight.
Well,
okay.
Well, welcome to the stream. How are you doing,
you.
Muffin Button?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm irritated as fuck tonight.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
What's up?
Well, I spend a lot of time booking. People already know the stories about, my fail rate is bigger than my success rate, of course. And this Tuesday, I was supposed to have on Jim Wynorski. Now, Jim Wynorski's a B-movie director. I kind of like his stuff. It's hokey, but he's able to pull it off. He was the guy who wrote and directed Chopping Mall, Return of the Swamp Thing, Not of This Earth. He did the Munchie series. Did a bunch of softcore stuff, and now he's got a series that's kind of like Air Bud called Doggone. His Doggone movies.
Doggone it.
Yeah. Now, he was initially supposed to show up back in, well, I'll give you the date. He was initially supposed to show up a month ago, October 9th.
Oh.
And he did not show up at all. Now, my routine, yeah, let's call it that, is if I book somebody, well, I book people a month in advance. And I get everything settled down. I send them all the information about the show, how it runs, blah, blah, blah. And then I say, I'm going to contact you a week before the show, just to make sure everything's okay. And then I'll hook up with you maybe a day or two before the show, if any questions have arisen. And I got a hold of him a week before his first appearance was supposed to happen. And then no word from him. We get a day before the show. I send out, hey, hope life's treating you well, blah, blah, blah. And his only connection is through bloody Facebook. So
Gotcha.
I am PMing him, not DMing, of course.
Of course not.
Because, when you're on Facebook, your messages are personal.
Mm-hmm.
They're not direct, apparently. And I didn't get any answer. And I got like 2 hours before the show. Now, I should have known because I had somebody bail on me before but they flat out just said, I'm not going to do it. So I had a day to get somebody in, and I've got friends who are interesting.
Yeah.
So I pulled him in for the first guy who ever bailed on me. I didn't do it for Wynorski because I had talked to him like 5 days before the show was going on.
Yeah.
Now, after everything's said and done, I sent him. I didn't send him an asshole message. I said, "Hey, you missed the show," and he got back to me the next day with a big, long apology letter. Sorry, I missed the show. Can we reschedule this? I'd really like to come on. Blah blah blah. Okay, cool, no problem. I had a space open starting off in November, first part of November. So I'm completely good with that. So everything's going the way that it normally goes. I contact him a week before. He says fine. I contact him today. There was just something bugging me about it. And he got back with me, and he was like, well, here's my phone number for when you give me a phone call. Now, keep in mind, I've sent this guy twice a message that says, we use Google Hangouts. And you can contact Google Hangouts through your phone. It's a simple download of one app. Here's a 1 minute, 27-second video that I made up. It was not a professionally made video. It was, hey, this is me, and here's how you can get on. And I literally had a phone in front of my phone doing screen capture, doing press button, here you click this, legit. From download of the app until you're on the stream, it's 1 minute, 27 seconds.
Okay.
No big deal, right?
Yeah.
So I send back to him, and I was like, well, we're going to do this via Google Hangouts. It's easy. It's just like Skype. And I'd sent you the link before for the tutorial. Let me go ahead and send that again. And he goes, well, I'd just rather do it by phone. And I told him, I said, well, you can do, phone is possible through Google, but they make you pay $240 a year for the service to have a phone number to where you can pull somebody directly in to the show. And I said, I'm going to be completely honest with you. It's cost prohibitive to me.
Yeah.
I can't afford $240 to just drop on a service that I'm not going to use frequently. But, if you need a walkthrough, hey, you can give me a call. We'll talk over the phone. I can walk you through it. We've got several options, and, if you've never used it before, it's okay to be uncomfortable with it. I've had other guests that have never used it before, and I did mention Harry Manfredini and Gerald Casale and Sean Cunningham, because that's right around his wheelhouse. I'm sure he recognized at least two of those names.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I should just. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just do the text thing. Good morning, Alex. Good morning, Gaming and Yelling. Good morning, Sparky.
Hi, Alex. Hi, Gaming. Hi, Sparky. Hi, John Doe. Hi, Big Fat Brian.
Good morning.
And earlier, I did not say hi to Patrice and Mert. I apologize.
Oh.
And welcome to the show, Anti-Hero.
Good morning to John Doe and Big Fat Brian. Okay, so I'm pulling this up right now because Facebook PMs are so incredibly special. Dude, now you can try to bust my balls all you want, John Doe, but I looked it up. I even have a Google phone number, but in order to activate it to be able to use it on Google Hangouts, you have to pay a fee for it, which is what is it? It ends up to be $240, and you have to pay for the year. You can't pay monthly or pay as you go, because I certainly would have considered that. Let's see here. Okay, so I guess I should do the. Okay, I sent him all the stuff, and he said, I just looked at the tutorial, which is amateur and requires downloads. I'm not interested in doing this. He calls me by name and says, thanks for your interest, but I'm going to pass. Now, what the fuck changed between the first time he bailed out on me and the second time? He had all the information. He had everything in front of him. So this is what I wrote him back. I said, there's only one download of the Google app. It's removable afterwards. The tutorial was done by myself as a courtesy to show how easy it is. This was not an issue for Harry Manfredini, Gerald Casale, or Sean Cunningham. I figured you'd be in the same ballpark. And then I finished with, are you certain you don't want to make an attempt before waving the white flag? And there has been no response from him. And this was early today.
Okay.
So, yeah. Now, if I want to get into a little bit of behind the scenes, I don't want to trash the guy, but initially when I was scheduling for the interview, he kind of made me jump through a few hoops. And he was treating me kind of like some fanboy douche that was going to sit back and ask him about all the titty movies that he made, or spend a half hour on talking about Chopping Mall. And I got back to him initially and I said no, because I know how you started up in the business, and I think it would be really fascinating. Because you started off as a trailer cutter for Roger Corman with American International Pictures. And anybody who watches movies, who loves movies, knows that Roger Corman's King Schlockmeister. I mean, he was the one who did the alien that was made up of a gorilla suit and a underwater diver's helmet. And that was the alien. He's the guy who filmed the original Little Shop of Horrors in 2 days. And that's because there was a set that they were using for another picture, but they weren't going to be there for that weekend. And Corman was like, I can shoot a movie in 2 days. And he did.
Wow.
But I thought that was going to be a fascinating conversation, and he automatically cut me off, and he's like, we can't talk about that. And I'm like, wait, what's going on? He's like, I'm in litigation with the Roger Corman estate right now. So I went back and did some research, and most of the people who worked for Roger Corman got a paycheck, but they never got any residuals or payouts past the point when they got the paycheck.
Oh, damn.
So the kids of Roger Corman or selling his New Line. Corman owned AIP and New Line Cinema, and he was selling off the library for New Line Cinema. And Corman himself is trying to block it, but since the kids are the executor of his estate, they're going ahead and they're going to sell it. So everybody who was with AIP or New Line Cinema at that point decided that they'd do a class action so they could get a payout.
Okay.
And so apparently he was part of that. So I said, well, then let's definitely not go there. And he's like, no, we won't. And I'm like, but I do want to talk about the fact we don't have to say the person by name, but we can start with, when you got into the business, you were a trailer cutter, and I want to talk about the difference between being an actual director and basically cutting somebody's shit together for a 2-minute advertisement. And he gave me a maybe on that. So I was hoping that with that conversation that he would know that this is not going to be your traditional fanboy. You're at a horror convention talking to somebody with a bullshit microphone and a pair of cans that's, you know, broadcasting or just doing a bullshit podcast. I'm like, we kind of dig deep on the people that show up. I mean, yeah, you may have done cool things, but let's talk about you and how you got to the ability to be able to do cool things. So automatically he was kind of sticking it to me. And I know I said this behind the scenes. I think I said it to you too, Kadant, that I think this guy's going to be hard to handle.
Yeah. I remembered that last time, and then and I know I was being, you know, a negative Nelly with the whole, like, you're like, all right, I got him rebooked again and it's gonna happen this time, and I'm like, maybe don't hold your breath, because I don't know, from the way that he sounded just from the last time, how do I put this nicely? Oh, fuck. I've been having real issues with being nice lately. I mean, like saying nice things about people who annoy me or have done something really stupid or pissed me off in some way, shape, or form. So, I guess he sounded, from last time, it did not seem like something that I.
He was being uppity.
Sure I told you. I think I told you, like, you know, don't hold your breath. Like, are you sure, Doc? Are you sure you'd like?
Well, I mean, I could legit read the big long apology letter that he sent me. I mean, because it was very long, very humble, very apologetic, and I'm like, all right, you know, I'm cool. I'll give you another shot.
Well, you know what, Doc? I can't fault you for that. For putting your faith in him and giving him this other shot.
Well, I mean,
because you put your faith in me, and you've given me a shot to be your crappy little co-host. You know, and I appreciate you, and you know,
well, you do a wonderful job.
I think this guy's a douchebag.
From the get-go.
Straight up, like, it's the nicest thing I can say. I think he's a douchebag. At this point, like, it's and I'm trying not to be super cunty cadunty, but at this, like,
well, and here's the thing: if anybody out there runs into a movie called Papatopoulos, it is the story of him filming one of his softcore movies over a weekend, and I should have known by how that went of how this was going to go. That movie made me trepidatious about him, but I thought, he does have the second best audio commentary that I've ever heard on a movie. It's the second funniest one, I should say. But God damn it, if I got the Wynorski without any Vaseline.
Well, you know what? Maybe. Oh God, it's. I'm trying to be positive here right now, and I really don't. Like, I kind of got to talk about, like, I've not been, in the mood for shit, but I don't think I've been able to express the amount of rage that has been building, and with this, like I said, I'm angry for you, but I'm gonna attempt to be positive here, and who knows, maybe he'll give the Hangouts a try and see how that goes, and maybe actually, like, do the thing.
Well,
but at this point, like, I would have a backup prepared.
Okay, can I share something with you? There are a shit ton of interesting people out there. As soon as I knew that he bailed, because I don't really expect for him to ever get back to me again. because the magical land of Facebook, I rarely check in on anymore. But that was
Yeah.
the only way I knew that I could get a hold of him. But I already have somebody that I want to bring on. If he can clear his schedule, yes. If nothing else, there's a really, really interesting guy that's lined up behind him that I can bring on. So I've got options. It's just, I mean, he knew everything up front. He legitimately knew everything up front, how it was going to run, how long it was going to be, what time it was, and he just forgot the first time. And he's only 68, so it's not like he's got full set Alzheimer's kicking in. And then I gave him a chance. I let him back in, and I hate being a part of an abusive relationship. Because it was more like, oh, well, this seems a little bit too difficult. And it's like, dude, I will walk through it with you. You call me on the phone, and we will walk through it together, and I'll show you how to do it. But you know what? I should send you that video, Kadant. It's 1 minute and 27 seconds long. Legit. And if you've never done Google Hangouts before, you might have to watch it twice. But it's really incredibly simple. It's like the app downloads in like 5 seconds. And then it's just the factor of, you allow this, you allow this, you allow that. And besides, I really, really hate doing phone interviews because of that muffled shit that you normally always get. Oh, a good morning to a wild fox appears and Metaphorist.
I was gonna say hi to them, and also, what if the issue is he's working from one of those old flip phones, so that's why he'd rather do it by phone. He doesn't have like a touch screen where he can download the app, and I'm pretty sure that flip phones wouldn't be able to download Hangouts. I know you can download some stuff from it, but they don't have like a Play Store or an Apple Store or anything like that.
Now, I got a counter for this. The movie Papatopoulos came out 3 years ago. And he had an iPhone. So I know that there was a way. Well, I don't know if it was an iPhone, but it was a smartphone. It was not the Star Trek communicator flip phone. He had it. I know that he had it.
Well, then I'm going to say this. And first off, Doc, I'm really proud of you.
for
one-sided
what?
relationship.
Oh yeah.
For not taking it anymore from this obviously one-sided relationship. You keep putting forth all this effort, and he's not giving you anything back, and he's not willing to try anything new. So go fuck him. Don't fuck him, because that's A, that's gay, and B, and B, he doesn't deserve your dick. Fuck this guy. Like, don't, if he tries again, like you say you already have some really cool, awesome people lined up. Instead, they seem like they want to make the effort. They're more worth it. I don't give two fucking shits about this guy at all anymore. Like, even if you were able to get him in an interview, that'd probably be the one that I wouldn't watch, no offense, unless I'm going to be in the chat trolling this motherfucker and calling him out, because fuck that. Like, really? You can't? You were sent a very simple, amateurish tutorial on how to download Hangouts and then use Hangouts on your phone. So it's still, I'm on my phone right now. Like, motherfucker, I hope you fucking hear this. I doubt you will, because I'm pretty sure this isn't going to be worth your fucking douchebaggy little time. But I really hope that at some point you fucking hear this, so you can hear that, guess what? I am calling you a douchebag. How fucking dare you? Like, I'm on my phone right now. I'm able to use Google Hangouts just fine. So you can go ahead and go and fuck yourself, sir, and have fun. Like, enjoy. Please don't even like you don't want to bother with shit, then don't fucking bother. Like if this is how your attitude's gonna be, is like then go yourself, you little fuckhead. Like no, no, like I'm done with fucking people like that, people like that, people like that don't deserve your time, doc. You're worth so much more than that. You are worth so much more than a guy who doesn't want to put forth even the minor amount of effort, just the smallest bit of effort, to do this thing that he already agreed to do
Twice.
twice. Oh, yeah, exactly. Fucking 2 motherfucking times.
Well,
Like,
okay, I'll share this. You know the old saying, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. That's what was really getting me pissed, because of the fact that I should have fucking seen it. I should have known it was coming. I mean, for God's sake, Harry Manfredini's 75 years old, and he picked up on Google without a problem.
I know, right? Like, he 75 years old. He did it. He kept to his word. He didn't forget and completely bypass and then send some bullshit fucking and that's all I'm gonna call this apology that this other motherfucker had sent. He didn't send some bullshit fucking apology where he's like, oh, I'm so sorry, I forgot, and then a few days before he's supposed to get on for the second, he's like, let's reschedule and do the thing. All right, well, here's the rescheduling and doing the thing. Here's a tutorial on how to do the thing. Fucking join in. Go ahead. Fucking do it. Oh, you don't want to because that requires some form of effort? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, you don't want to change your ways? You want to just do a crappy little phone interview and make it even more costly for somebody else? Because what? You think your time is really that worthwhile? You're not. You're not anymore.
Well,
you're not.
Well, and it's funny because Harry Manfredini's like, well, I've never done this before, and this was he was one of the reasons why I created the tutorial to send over to him. And he's like, you know what? I'm just gonna call you, and I haven't erased it, but it's privated. Me and him sat back on a Sunday, and just worked through it. He's like, I don't know what's going on with it. And we figured out that he lives real close to a Starbucks. So the Wi-Fi on his phone automatically went to the Starbucks when he went to get himself a coffee, and it never flipped back to his home internet. That's why we kept losing him. He kept cutting out and shit. But I mean, we were on for just a couple hours, and we were breezing and shooting the shit. And he's like, you know what? This is going to be a really fun interview. And I'm like,
you know what? That's been a common thing with the people that have been interviewed by you, because you do your research if you don't already know, and B, you fucking give a damn about who they are as people. And hi, Jeremy.
Oh yeah, good morning.
You know
Jeremy.
what? Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying good morning. Oh, God. Am I ever going to get used to this vape again? God damn it.
Maybe. You'll don't worry. I'm sure you'll learn how to anyway.
Will Pickle mentor me? Will I become the Robin to his Batman of vape?
God.
Can I say something real fast?
Yes.
No, don't say it fast. Say it in your own time.
Yeah,
Okay.
say it nice and slow.
Oh, yeah, just do that. Oh, that thing you do.
You were saying earlier that you didn't want to bash him on the stream. Now you don't have to, because Cadent totally did it for you.
I mean, there's got to be a reason people keep me around, and if it's not for the cleavage pictures that I'll post every once in a blue moon, or the random memes that are entertaining and or inspiring, then it's got to be for the rage. And right now, plenty of fucking rage. This motherfucker, huh?
I keep you around because I love you.
Well, I even told Joke. I said, you may be old school bouncer, but she's head bouncer. She is Dalton of the IRS. Be
I
nice
can't
until
with
it's
it.
time to
Speaking
not
of
be
being
nice.
part of the, speaking of being part of the IRS, everybody, if you haven't gone and seen Doc Streamlabs, you should totally go to Doc Streamlabs and throw 'em a couple little dockets, like just a couple little here and there,
Well,
just a bit because he's worth it.
so I am happy to announce that there's somebody that I really want to talk to. He's been on the stream, but I really want to get into depth to what he does because it's more than a hobby. So instead of a Hollywood director, we will be talking to a hardcore militiaist. Is it a militiaist? Merc's going to be on the show, and
Oh,
I'm going to guess that because I'm honestly I'm outside of it. I mean I may have been part of an MC, but that's not a militia. So I'm really fascinated to see how that operates, and I know there's a lot of people out there too, and we probably might be talking guns.
oh, maybe, just maybe. But hi, bubonic for you, and hey, Chief Lakota.
Good morning, Bubonic and Chief Lakota. So yeah, it was so nice. I asked him today. I'm like, hey, what are you doing? Oh, and don't think I didn't see it. Thanks everybody for the love that I saw over there in the live chat. I certainly appreciate that. Um, Doctor on Call is a selfish pursuit, but I'm glad that I can share it with everybody and that people can have fun while I'm not going insane being housebound. I don't like it. I don't like it a lot.
You don't like it a lot.
Yeah, I've got to have a good intro though on the or a good descriptor down the bottom. So I gotta work on that, Merc. If you want to throw me a couple of things, um, uh, a couple of points of interest that you definitely want to go over, I'll make sure and put that in the descriptor too. But yeah, I'm honestly looking forward to it. I think it's going to be really cool, um, and don't think you're going to get out of not talking about that drone footage either. He shot some awesome drone footage. Um,
Yeah. By the way, for those of you who checked the description and noticed that the Streamlabs link was not there, it's now in the chat. So feel free. Feel free to go and click and
oh shit!
throw a little.
Uh, uh, Wifey's she better not walk in here and hear that. She's like, you have to keep putting that in, and I'm like, why do I have to keep putting that in? Cause I'm your wife, and I'm like, oh fuck, I'm not fighting that logic.
It's all right, Nurse Wicked. I got you.
I
When
am.
you don't catch him missing it, I catch it and I throw that shit in the chat.
That's something that I'm definitely not going to escape. I'm not fighting that kind of logic. I think we got down the road 10 years just because of the fact that uh, I avoid it. Gentlemen out there who are engaged or getting married or have been married for just a short amount of time, please pick your battles. If it's something like this, don't be kicking rocks going, I don't want to do it. It's like, yes, dear. Do it. Get it over with. You'll feel better
What's
about
the
yourself.
what's the saying? Happy wife.
Happy life.
Happy wife, less stressful life. Not necessarily happy because there's always some form of stress, no matter what. I'm not gonna lie to you people, but if your significant other is happy, at least to a degree, then you know they they will, if they're worth it, they'll do what they can to make you happy. You know.
Wait a minute. I have to ask Snowfox. What do you mean? Who's hiring out here? I have no idea what that means. Um,
Um,
I don't know. Um, but yeah, Sparky, I think I might have figured out how to do that. I'm just being obstinate at this point. Um, and somebody said that there was another service that you could actually use to where people could call in and you don't have to pay for it. And I'm looking into that. It's something that's supposed to be able to sync up with OBS. So I'm trying to find that out. And if they're uncomfortable with being able to use Google Hangout on their phone, there is no fucking way I'm going to suggest Discord. That just ain't happening. But then again, that would turn into a mega shit show. I don't trust Discord. I do not trust Discord one bit. Let's see. Is everything
So,
popping up
how's
like it's
everybody?
supposed to?
what?
I'm just trying to see if everything's popping up a little like it should.
Well, right now, none of the gifts are showing, if that's what you mean.
Oh no, I mean the head showing up for the people talking.
Um, no, it does not look like it looks like it's just mine at the moment, but I did go quite a bit.
Okay, there we go. Well, let's see if that fixes it. Yeah, like I'm a tech whiz. Let me just click this button.
Well, how is everybody that's with us doing? Because we got Muffin and we have Anti-Hero in here with us.
And
What?
yeah, I did the clicky thing. So yeah, we're gonna have to get Anti-Hero and Muffin talking to see if it'll pop up.
I am currently setting things on fire.
Ooh.
Well, as long as you do it in the name of Jesus, you can get away with it. Look at the Crusades.
Well, I
Touche.
mean, in my house, I have a fireplace in my apartment,
Okay.
and it's really cold outside, so I got some firewood, and I'm burning a bunch of stuff.
When I moved down to Charlotte for a couple of years, one of the big reasons why we took the well, they call them condos down there. The reason why we took this one was because it had a fireplace. It was the first time that I've ever had an active fireplace in a dwelling which I lived. And oh yeah,
This is the second one for me. We had one in the house that I lived in when I was a kid.
yeah. The first thing we did when my partner and I moved in is we started a fire and made s'mores.
Making s'mores is fun.
Good morning, Jean d'Arc.
Hi,
Good
Jean.
morning.
See, okay, yeah, and Sparky, you're gonna if you're volunteering, you gotta help me figure out why the pills are not dropping. I have all the pills rigged up and nothing's dropping on them. You know what, folks? That makes me sad.
That makes him a sad panda. Anti-Hero, you're allowed to talk, right?
Yeah, just not a whole lot for me to talk about right now.
Well, okay, how about this? Because I always have the pad out now. Like I said, my brain is kind of like Swiss cheese. So anybody who actually comes on the show, I literally write them down so I can make sure and say thanks to them at the end. I will use this magical pad right now to write down guest ideas So if the chat and the people that are on the stream currently have any guest ideas, I will write them down. Because
Honestly, I wouldn't even know who to suggest.
I just hope that Ginger Lynn doesn't cancel out, because that was a good get.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm racking my brain trying to think.
Oh, it's probably all the interference from the Niglets.
Wait, what?
Think...
It's one of the favorite words right there.
They are candy coated and delicious, from what I've been told.
She
All
adores
I heard was Niglet.
Good morning, Hex.
Hi, Hex. So the last couple of streams, that word was used a lot.
Okay.
By me.
Gotcha.
She had kind of a nice rant going on.
I've been in a ranting mood. I apologize.
Well, shit.
All I heard was Niglet, so I figured someone was talking to me.
Well,
No. Remember, you're not a niglet. You're just a nig.
I know.
Because you're only half.
But it wasn't you that said it.
What?
So I figured it was somebody else and they must have been talking to me.
well, it reminds me of the joke in Blazing Saddles,
Yeah.
where he's like, "Are you insane? This man is a nit." And he stops and realizes that he had grabbed Cleavon Little to tell him that, to take him aside. So he's like, "Pardon me, excuse me." And he puts him back and grabs Mel Brooks, the governor, and walks him the same way and goes, "Are you insane? Don't you realize that this man is a nit?"
Well, Blazing Saddles had just the absolute best ways to stop from saying the word nigger over and over and over again. Just any number of silly, loud noises, and people all of a sudden running by. And they did it. Blazing Saddles. I mean, anything by Mel Brooks really is one of those things where you can't beat it. They don't replicate it anymore.
And Sparky dropped a deuce on me, saying, "Have $2 on me. Thank you, sir."
I don't know if I'd accept anyone dropping a deuce on me.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I think I'd be mildly against that.
Holding mild?
Hex,
I mean, it depends on the anus the deuce came from, obviously.
Hex, you should know that Vamp Candy and I are not speaking right now. Not that there's any true heat going on, but yeah, there's something inflammatory that could happen. Sometimes when you type messages, they can be misconstrued. And I will definitely leave it at that. But I don't have any beef technically with Vamp at all. I just tendency to let that cool for a little bit before we jump back into conversation anytime soon.
I've never once in my life seen that sort of thing happen.
Bullshit.
At no point have I ever misinterpreted someone else's words, nor have I ever had somebody else misinterpret my words. And non-existent occurrence at any point in time. Frankly, those of you who do have that problem are just poor communicators. That's all.
Well, it's funny because I had asked her if she wanted to be a nursey on the show, and nursey is like a 1 minute gig. You're on, you're off, you're done. You get to introduce whomever it is, throw a joke out there, and then you tip your paper hat and you're out. And I had asked her. I guess I can do the story. It's nothing real big. I had asked her about it and didn't get back to her. For a while, I didn't get a response back. And usually, if you're going to go with the Kumite crew, the person who responds the quickest is normally Vamp. followed by failure, and then way, way far in the back, Tonka. I mean, the last time he responded to me, it took, I shit you not, I think 6 months. And he was like, yeah, what'd you need? And I'm like, I fucking forgot, dude. I have no idea. I guess it wasn't that
You should have
important.
just been like, I want you to be my nurse.
Well, I did kind of ask failure about doing that, but hey man, nice shot wants to be in line for the first male nurse, so I will not deny him.
Why not? Denial can be fun.
Yes.
Well,
yes, it is.
teasing can be pleasing.
Mm.
I wouldn't know anything about that because I'm married.
What you know?
What if I haven't
to
said anything?
life.
Good save.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's more of the take it, come cowboy, take me away. So I take her.
She never teases you.
She makes a valiant effort. Let's just say that with all the TIAs that I've been having, it's a challenge for her now because balance is not my friend. I mean, when your right side pretty much is about, I'd say right now I'm about maybe 30-40% at the most. As far as strength goes, so yeah, there can't be a lot of fucking, but she puts up with me. I mean, she got some for the anniversary. I will say that.
Hey, water jabbers.
Good morning, water jabbers.
Good morning.
Water jabbers. I will say this much: the math on the show with the breaking down the cost of the airline tickets. That made my head hurt. I'm not good at the maths.
1 + 1 is the square root of 4.
Oh no, they full broke down, the cost of a plane ticket and what goes into it and all that stuff. I find that shit interesting, but please don't expect me to do the math. That's okay. I'm so old that when I was in school, you were not allowed to have a calculator in math class. It was forbidden unless you were taking trig. And then Texas Instruments had, okay, this is back in the 80s. So it was a $30 calculator. That was a lot of money to spend. So I just didn't take trig.
I mean, it was like that when I was in elementary school and middle school. I was never allowed to have a calculator. And even in high school, they were really, really against it. I wasn't really allowed to use a calculator in school until I got to college.
And good morning, Michael. Yeah, it's like, if you're going out to buy school supplies, you better have a calculator with you. Or, a lot of schools now have terminals in every class. So, you can use the calculator that's, in Windows. And good morning, Space Bitch.
Hi, guys.
Good morning.
And if you can't sleep, you are definitely in the right place. Welcome to the Insomnia Ramble Stream. And just for that, let me go ahead and do this. That's what you do. There you go. There you go, OBS. Let's see. So, yeah, I do have pretty pictures to look at, although Cadet likes to stare into the multicolored abyss there.
No, I just like it as a background. Like, I don't need to stare at the abyss. I just like it as a sparkly little background.
Well, and you know the thing that's funny, it plays on the random, but the random on Streamlabs sucks. Because it'll pull one and then 6 slides later it'll pull the same goddamn thing. The slide folder that I have on here has 100 different GIFs on it. And you'd think you would not see a repeat within, at the very least, like the first 50.
Well, maybe it just really likes that GIF.
Well, okay. Computers are going to take over the world anyway soon enough, so, might as well accommodate them right now.
Whatever Skynet wants, Skynet gets.
Honestly, I like the trippy background, but it's probably because I'm really stoned.
Well, I
At
mean,
least you got it.
well, let's see here.
Kitties.
If I pause the slideshow for just a second. Oh, that one's not showing at all. What the hell? Oh, wait a minute. I know why. Woo!
Oh shit, Sparky. Good job. I'm sorry you're bored, and I hope we entertain you.
Spirals and more spirals. Woo!
Are you just playing around now, Doc?
Yeah, I'm just dicking about at this point. There we go. Now we have multiple spirals.
Ooh.
Wait a minute. If you suck. I blinded you. Okay, there you go. And back to reality.
The fuck is that?
Something I've read about in the book, but then again, the book that I started reading now is I started back into reading Franz Kafka, and you want to talk about one fucked up dude? That boy had issues. I'm starting Metamorphosis again. That's the story of the guy who wakes up one morning and finds out he's turning into a bug.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes you feel like a bug. Sometimes you don't.
Okay, well now let's go ahead and actually have a conversation about something that everybody joins in on. What is, and we're gonna set aside the chocolatey, delicious Niglets. What is your what is your favorite candy bar? And I'll ask this two ways. You're going trick or treating as a kid. You see somebody start to slide that candy bar into your. Well, we always had pillowcases. We never had like buckets or anything.
Same.
They go to slide your favorite fucking candy bar in, and adversely, the one where somebody starts to put a candy bar that you really hate, and you kind of like jerk the pillowcase away, because when you get home you can't trade it with your brothers and sisters.
I wasn't allowed to go trick or treating when I was a kid.
Not at all.
No, I actually didn't trick or treat till about 3 years ago.
Okay. Are you now, since you're an adult, are you doing the kind of trick or treating that we like to call in modern times a pub crawl?
Pretty close. I went down to Salem, and I live in Massachusetts, so I went down to Salem and walked around and saw all the crazy sights and interacted with people who probably shouldn't be allowed out in public and all that kind of nonsense, and also drank a lot. So yeah, I didn't do that. My favorite candy bar though is I'm an expensive bastard. It's probably Toblerone.
Dude, last time I went to Food Pantry, they gave us Toblerone. I'm
surprised.
Well, it depends.
It's not cheap.
Some people are afraid of the triangle box.
I think they're delicious. I don't like nuts at all, but with Toblerone, I will shove their nuts in my mouth.
I think Muffin only was the only one who got the triangle box thing. Thank you, dear.
You're welcome.
Okay, it's coming in on the chat. Water Jabbers is saying Twix, but only the right Twix. Metaphorist likes Almond Joys. Chief Lakota is conflicted between Twix and Crunch.
Metaphorus is an awful person who should probably be shot. And I'm not a racist. I don't discriminate between right and left Twix.
Well, Bubonics made several suggestions. 3 Nigsketeers and a Watchamaniglet.
Whatchamacallits are pretty good though. Just saying.
He should probably put in 100 Nigs and also Niggly Crunch. There's no reason to be niggardly about these sorts of things.
Michael likes the Reese's peanut butter big cups. Now, wait a minute. Are you talking about the big cups? Or are you talking about those 1 pound motherfuckers that they put out at Easter?
He probably means the 1 pound motherfuckers.
Those are not
It
good.
needs 2 weeks to eat one of them,
Those are bad.
but delicious.
No,
Sparky's
the
going
peanut
with the
butter
Milky Way.
chocolate- The peanut butter to chocolate ratio on the Nig cups, the big 1 pound Nig cups, it's awful. Like Reese's peanut butter cups are one of those weird things because they do the different seasonal ones all the damn time. The Christmas trees and the pumpkins and everything, and like you got to find the ones that are just the perfect chocolate to peanut butter ratio. Pumpkins are pretty close. The trees are almost on point.
I like the eggs. Matter of fact, the only time I really eat the peanut butter cups is when they make them in egg form for Easter. Metaphor says that Toblerone is shit. Sparky prefers the Milky Way, and Hex likes Three Musketeers.
I think we already discussed the Metaphor should be shot for his foul opinions. So I'm not going to pay attention to Nigga Forest. I'm not going to pay attention to
Why?
I would say that my favorite candy bar is a toss-up between Snickers and Payday.
I don't know. The one that I'm kind of grooving on right now is the Hershey Gold that has it's a caramel chocolate, and it's got pretzel bits and I think it's nuts in it too. It's pretzel bits and nuts, and it's called Hershey's Gold.
Yeah, I've tried one of those. Those are pretty damn good.
Now for the regular munchies, I do like me some Milky Way Dark.
Oh,
I love dark chocolate.
me too.
I think Bubonic has settled on Snickers.
Snickers?
He likes Snickers. Oh man, Mary Jane! I have not had a Mary Jane bar in forever, Merc. That's been a while. And Chief Lakota, I've not had a Mr. Good bar either in quite some time. No, Michael, that is way too much Reese. Those 1 pound motherfuckers are a curiosity. I did get one for somebody who is a Reese's fan, and she ended up being not a Reese's fan afterwards. Because she was like, this is too much goddamn work. I got to cut it up like a fucking pie and eat it.
It's pretty excessive, that one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a diabetic, so theoretically one of those could kill me. And I'm okay with that.
I think the only way we'd be able to find out is if you tried it. Now, we're willing to supervise that. We're willing to watch, to put video on if necessary. We'll make sure that goes down in posterity if that's what you're looking for.
Oh, well, here's the first time that I've ever done this on stream. There's my magical webcam for you. How awesome is that? That's what life is when you're looking through bandages. I don't know, the most I've ever eaten in one sitting is I ate a whole bag. It was like a 1 pound bag of chocolate covered raisins, and oh man, did I suffer after that. Because it's butt fire hose, you know, like a day later, because all the raisins. They make you so regular you become irregular. Oh, I also have to mention, if it's not chocolate, Zagnuts. Love the Zagnut.
If it's not chocolate, payday, honestly.
Oh,
If it's not chocolate, a payday?
no.
Yeah, paydays do have chocolate.
No, it's peanuts and caramel.
Oh, right. Sorry, I got those mixed up in my head with Baby Ruths.
Oh, man.
That used to happen.
Now, have you guys ever had a nut log?
No.
It is,
Oh.
there's a cream center, kind of like you get with bullseyes or cowtails.
Yeah.
It's a
A
special.
nut log with a cream center. Go on.
It's a special creamy center, dipped in caramel and rolled in nuts. You want to stick it all the way in your mouth.
Let it slide right down your throat.
But yeah, it's kind of almost like a payday, except for it's got that it's got that cowtail cream filling to it.
What's it called?
It's called a nut log. Oh, wait a minute. Hey, let us jump right into the no context.
No context tweet.
Yes.
See, for me, I really like the Milky Way dark. I'm probably going to get some hatred right now, but I also like mounds.
Same.
Mounds is what I discovered. Was when I discovered that I almost died from eating too many of them because they are apparently dark chocolate.
Yes, they are.
And but god damn it, dark chocolate is so good. But for things that won't kill me, that don't have that slight chance. Oh, and York peppermint patties. Oh, I miss eating York peppermint patties. But for things that won't kill me and don't have that semblance of possible death, suffocating, delicious, yummy death, I like 100 grand. And I mean the candy, the actual chocolate bar. Not the money would be nice too, but I'm talking about the actual chocolate bar. Like that's
Now,
those are so good.
Now the one that I put up is a homemade. Well, they're calling them nut rolls, but nut logs, whatever. And then right back behind it, I put one in that is a commercial version of it. The one that you're used to. Although this can get a little harsh just because of the fact that if it's sitting on the shelves for a long time, and I make this recommendation to anybody who has a bodega. If you don't see them putting the candy box on the shelf when you walk in, do not buy that candy unless it's gum. Because more than likely, bodegas don't give a shit about expiration dates. It will sit there until the box empties, and then they'll order another box to put in it. But especially the bodegas that are around here. Jesus, man, those guys suck.
God, I really want chocolate right now. I really want dark chocolate right now. I'm not going to. There's none in my house. My family has learned to keep that shit away from me, and it makes me sad. But at the same time, God, the sweet embrace of death. Like,
Wait a minute. So, did your family have like a dark chocolate intervention?
Oh well, no. After the first time, when it was discovered, I was a little youngin. I was just a chi instead of a full chink. I was a little chinklet, and my mom, taking us over to her friend's house because she was gonna go and see her friend and help her with some things or whatever, and we're there playing Tetris on the Nintendo.
Oh God! All I remember was when the NES came out. There was the commercial, where it shows a bear playing Tetris.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Oh, Boris, always playing with the Tetris. It used to be ball or unicycle. Now it's just Tetris, Tetris, Tetris."
I've never seen that commercial, but we used to love playing Tetris there. And then, and she had this giant bowl full of almond joy and mounds. I'd only ever really had almond joy up to that point. Never knew about mounds for some reason. Like it had always just been almond joy. And well, my sisters like them too, and they were going at it, and I was going at it, and I was eating a shit ton of mounds, because they decided they wanted to try and take like all the almond joy, and you know, I'd eat my fair share of the almond joy too. And at this age, kids can go on candy for days without getting tired of it. And after I can't even say how many, all of a sudden I'm just like, I can't breathe. Oh no. And one of my sisters ran to go and get my mom, and then my mom's like, what the fuck happened? And that's when we found out I can't do dark chocolate. Sadness.
Because dark chocolate ends up doing you. Almost
Oh
in.
god, straight like deep in my throat, like dark chocolate does me so fucking hard and so fucking long, like I can feel it in my lungs. Actually, I can't. That's the problem, is I can't feel air hit my lungs. But because of dark chocolate, like whew, like no, I can't do it, and it makes me really sad because god, dark chocolate is so fucking good. It's almost as bitter as I am.
Almost as good as mine.
Okay. I gotta do this. Since it's election time, ladies and gentlemen,
Oh god.
I'm going to, of course, for no context, like it actually needs it. Here's some campaign slogans that just kind of went wrong. And let's see. Oh, this one's awesome.
Clayton Cosgrove, MP for Walmakalala, getting hard for you.
I think you'll like the second one. Mayor of Fort Wayne, Indiana. I am proud of my hairy balls.
Wow.
This fucker took what my slogan would be if I tried to become a congressional member. So, fuck you, Senator A.D. Stevens.
He does things. That's good. That would have been my slogan. I do things. Not much, but I do things.
Oh God, yeah, like they didn't know that this was gonna be in inflammatory. This is a button for Nixon. And
oh dear.
For those of you tuning in late, I feel sorry for you because no context needed.
Nope.
We don't do context in this parlays, partner.
No, we don't.
Round
context
these
tweets or
parts, we
something.
think context is for suckers and northerners.
That's so great. They can't lick our dick.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow.
Like I
Oh, no wonder why he was so.
Carpetbaggers looking on my dick anyway.
Now I don't know. I don't know if this one's real or not, but God, just by the font, it looks like it's real. And this one, I don't know. I'm pretty sure that Al Smith at least got some of the ladies' votes.
Oh, vote for Al Smith and make your wet dreams come true.
Make your wet dreams come true?
Yes, wet dreams.
Okay.
Sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes you don't.
That's oh, just no. That's just wrong. Um, there's a sign outside of the cleaners that says "Drop your pants here, and you will receive prompt attention."
Uh,
That's generally how I prefer it. I mean, if I'm gonna drop my pants somewhere, I expect them to give me just the most immediate and prompt of attention, one way or the other. Whether that's calling the cops or someone dropping their knees and servicing me, I expect prompt attention when my pants have become dropped.
Okay, now off of this campaign sign, how many people do you think actually voted for Paul McAdam? Has it come up?
Well, yes. Independent, a voice for. God damn! What the fuck is he wearing on his head?
That is a Miller box.
Yeah, that's a
I
that's a
just
six
can't
pack
say
box that
no
he turned
to
into a
good
hat.
Buzz.
Yeah, I just can't say no to a good buzz.
Oh, God.
We'll session through the recession. Well, you know what? At least he's got his priorities straight.
Boo.
I mean, he knows what he's all about. I mean, you're not going to be confused to what his platform is.
Yeah, well, yeah, because he'll be laying face down on it.
Paul McAdam, booze and the news. Is Paul McAdam really, really ready for the congressional service?
Paul McAdams, the guy you can trust to kill a hooker and get too drunk to remember it.
wow.
Paul McAdam, if he wins, the keg party for everyone. A nonpartisan keg party.
What? Somebody made a fake Tom Brady sign for U.S. Senate. Tom Brady, I don't want to touch anyone's balls. I don't want to rub anyone's balls.
But I
Why?
will.
Because the balls are flat.
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah. He could flatten them. He might have that kind of death grip.
But I will
Worry.
inflate them all.
You will inflate them.
Inflate. I mean, it's Tom Brady.
Yeah. I'll be watching the football tomorrow, but I shan't be. Well, here's the thing. It's so funny because when wifey comes in from work, because she normally works Sundays, she'll the first thing she'll ask me is, "Did the Patriots lose?"
Why?
Is she not a Patriots person?
She fucking hates the Patriots.
I mean, most of us do.
Yeah.
Well, not most of us. I mean, I can't really say that. Like, on my house, in the place I'm living right now, Sundays are this godless, sacred thing where everyone in the house suddenly shows up to go and just watch the Patriots game or whatever absolute nonsense happening. People are like, oh, hey, anti-hero. Hey, what's the score? You got the laptop. What's the score? I don't know. How do you not know? I don't actually care about football.
Yeah,
Or the
yeah.
Patriots.
You forgot to ask the first question. One, do I care? Football's the only one that really I'll actually watch on TV. I'll watch a basketball or a baseball game, but I got to be there.
If someone, sorry about that. If someone says, "Hey, I've got tickets to a football game and I want to take you," first I'll be like, "Is there anyone else who would benefit from this clear intentional gift?" Because you should take them. But if it comes down to it's got to be me, I'll have a good time at the game. But watching sports on television has never really done anything for me. Even like UFC or mixed martial arts type sport just doesn't do it for me at all.
Oh, dude, I did the forerunner of the MMA. I don't know if you guys remember this, but back in the day, they used to have tough man contests, and it's just guys getting together beating the piss out of each other for the amusement of all the other drunk motherfuckers that are there. And I'll admit it, I made it one round, and there was like what was it, like 8 or 10 qualifiers. I don't know, but I only made it one round, and that's because when I hit the guy, he stepped back on his leg funny, and broke his own ankle.
Nice.
So
Heisman that shit.
So I got a pass to the next round, and the next guy just beat the literal piss out of me. I mean, I peed myself a little bit. I'm not kidding you.
Not a lot. He's still a man, but a little bit. A little bit came out. It was involuntary.
There's a little bit of squirting happening. Yeah. I mean, because when somebody's knocking your ass senseless, it can happen. You know, I've heard people talk about shitting your pants. You know, first you say it and then you do it. Nah, Jeremy, I'm not much of a college football guy either. All right, we're going to do one of these sticks, one of these cancer sticks instead.
Cancer stick sounds amazing.
Let's all have a cigarette together, except for Anti-Hero since he quit.
Woo!
Yeah, I don't smoke.
Anymore or ever?
It's been a while. I think I had my last cigarette probably a year ago.
Oh, good for you.
People say good for me, but I really don't like taking credit for any of it because, so like part of it, excuse me, I have a sinus infection, so I'm coughing. I was never a very heavy smoker to begin with. And I know people say, "Oh, I'm not a man. I can stop whenever I want." Like I literally was never an addict.
Kyle Green.
I learned to smoke in Iraq, so that way I could get a break from a 16-hour shift. And then when I came back, it was more like a stress habit kind of thing. You know, if I was stressed out, I'd go outside, have a cigarette, de-stress for 5 minutes, and come back inside. And it would take me probably a month to go through a pack of cigarettes. I was never really heavy. And then some things happened in my life that dramatically changed my ability to get cigarettes. So I quit smoking cold turkey because I had to. And then when those particular situations stopped being a situation, I smoked off and on and stress for maybe a year, and it would take me about 3 months to go through a pack then. And then I finally just quit because it doesn't appeal much to me. I occasionally, if I'm sitting by a campfire and somebody has cigars and scotch, I will happily take it. Or if I see has a nice pipe or whatever, I'll take a few puffs kind of thing. But for the most part, like I said, I haven't had a cigarette in probably a year at this point, and I don't really have an interest in picking it back up again.
Sparky, I couldn't help it. I had to play the one that Hex sent. Yeah, that's yeah. If you guys get the chance, it's a 30-second commercial, and I'm gonna have to vote no on this guy because even though he might have like milky brown skin, yeah, he's not gonna be anybody's nigga. Because that's his campaign promise. He said, "I want to be your nigger," and he did hard R, so he doesn't know.
I mean, doesn't that kind of imply a sort of slavery sort of thing? I mean, are we allowed to say that?
Well, he was black and he said it, so I think that's for him to work out in his own little world.
I mean, I was pretty sure that the guy selling his own people into slavery was the most hated of all the people out there. I mean, this guy's just be like, "I'm gonna be yo Negro."
Well, but he's volunteering for it.
I'm gonna live in your house and do your chores. Like, I don't know. It just sounds bad. It's not great optics.
Oh. Oh, fuck. That was my first yawn of the night. What the fuck is going on?
Wow.
I'm
tired
still very wide awake. And now I think the adrenaline urge to go to California and beat somebody up has subsided. Hey,
wait.
there's somebody I
Where
haven't
in
seen.
California?
Yeah, but you're not a B movie director whose credits include The Bear Wench Project and The Witches of Breastwick.
No. Doc, what I'm going to point out to you is the fact that you don't need to fly anywhere. I just need to take a little drive.
Well, since he gave me his phone number, I can do a reverse trace on it. And a very good morning to you, Lord Byron. I haven't seen you for a while.
Hey, Lord Byron.
I would like to clarify for the FBI people currently listening to the stream, as they listen to everything. No one here is being serious, and we are supporters of Hillary Clinton and everything she does. No one here is feeling suicidal, nor will they ever be.
Oh, speaking of Hillary Clinton, House of Cards
God.
season 5, because House of Cards was supposed to be a dramatic take on the Clinton administration, and they're corrupt as all motherfuckers. And okay, here's the part that really pissed me off. In order to maintain control, her husband died, who was the president, but he made her vice president, and then he died. She took over the presidency, and she didn't want to deal with all the politics, so she literally fired her entire cabinet and just brought in all females. So I don't know how I can explain that without sounding like a misogynist. But it's like, there's no such thing as men are the best for every single job, nor women being the best for every single job. I'm like, at least it could have spaced it out. And, she opens up this meeting room and she's like, oh, well, I've fixed that situation. And she comes in and the whole board is just women sitting around the table. And I'm like, I don't think you fixed anything. I think you've started something.
Yeah, could you imagine when all those bitches sync up?
Ugh, I thought about that. And wifey was over there looking at me going, well, women can do the same jobs as men. And I'm like, yeah, but you have to take into consideration that, if you're going to go with the whole man's world principle, these guys have been doing it for a lot longer. And they were trying to justify the appointments like, these were assistants to the guys that I fired, so they can do the job just as good. And it's like, no, that's not how it works.
Well, one never knows, I'm just going to leave it at that.
Well, it's just like I worked for the Census Bureau back in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
And literally, my bosses were either female, black, Hispanic, or a combination of that. Well, some of them were actually males, but they didn't get to be in the higher parts. They were like supervisors. All the managers fit those criteria. And if I hadn't put down on the application that I'm quarter Native American, that they probably would have bounced me. They said, oh, another white guy, we don't need him. But yeah, they were more into the whole thing. This is way before SJWs, 2010, almost a decade ago. Back when everything cost a quarter and the biggest game on the market was hoop and stick. Uh, but yeah, I probably would not have gotten that job had I not mentioned my mixed racial heritage. Um, but yeah, everybody was just lovely to work with, and I say that sarcastically. I mean, legit. And I was raised in the projects, and these motherfuckers I worked with were lazier than the people who were living in the projects on living off welfare and food stamps.
Well, I'm just gonna throw this out there. Two of the worst managers I've ever had were female. One was a Hispanic female. She's the one that actually made me like I was like, okay, I'm quitting. Like I walked out of my shift. Like I had, maybe an hour left of my shift, and I'm just like, yeah, no, if this is the kind of fucking bullshit that I'm gonna have to deal with, I'm not gonna fucking deal with it. And then the other one, I can't really say she managed shit. She managed to get, a new boob job.
Oh,
Like,
well.
does that count? No. Okay.
Well, as long as she wasn't like, no, seriously, touch him. During work hours.
Well, if she'd done that, then I could have, sued for sexual harassment. Like.
Yeah, there was one girl that I worked with at the lingerie call center, and she was so happy about her new boobs, because normally we'd hit the bar across the street if we got out quick enough, and legitimately for like a solid week, she was like, "So what do you think of my new boobs?" And I'm like, "Yeah, well, I'm more of a booty guy," and she's like, "No, seriously, you have to feel them." And I'm like, no, seriously, I don't have to feel them. They're tits. I get it. She's like, no, but implants feel so much different from real ones. And I'm like, yes, I understand that. I have touched fake boobs before. This isn't my first time. And we get to like the end of the work week, and she's like, God damn it! And she pulls up her shirt. She's like, look at my tits. Feel my tits. And I'm like, okay. And it's like I was reaching out to kind of hit the panic button with just like one finger. And I was just like, dude, okay, I touched them. Put them the fuck away now. But they were kind of fresh still, so they looked a little bruisey, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I
mean,
that makes perfect sense to me because I've worked with private entertainers. Was the official title if we wanted to put that on our resumes, and I think I'm the only one who didn't, like who never put that on my resume. But yeah, there's one who had fake tits, and like she was so happy because she finally saved enough to get them, and we're girls, so it's actually a thing where like girls will be like, look at my titties and feel my titties, and then we all just go and look and feel titties, and like it's a thing.
Yeah, apparently so, but I'm just not. If there's a mutual agreement after the bar's closed, then she wants to show me more than titties, then that's fine. But it's kind of, to me, it got to the point. It was kind of like when a guy whips out his wallet and says, "Let me show you my kids."
Oh God.
We got new baby pictures. It's just like, it's like, go away. Okay, you've got tits. We're here to drink. Focus. Keep your eye on the prize. God damn it.
Well, okay. I'm gonna clarify. When it's girls among other girls, that's a common thing. I don't know too many females who are like, yeah, look at my titties to a bunch of guys, unless like it's Mardi Gras or they're working. And even then, like, it's not something you announce. It's just like, okay, like, you know, and so like that seems like some odd behavior.
Well, I was mostly harmless. I mean, I worked at that place for 10 years, and it was like 80% female. Then about no, I'd say probably about 85% female, about 10% gay male, and then like 5% heterosexual males, and most of them worked in security. Um, but
Maybe she thought you were gay.
well, that's the thing because I worked there 10 years, and I was I admit it. I was banging chicks there, but I would do it like maybe once a year. I would hook up with somebody, so they knew who I was fucking, but it was still like it was like the gay male friend when we go to bars because I just sit back, drink, and tell stories, and I think that was the big draw having me out there. Although when I took them to my family bar, I ended up running up like a. It took me a couple months, mind you, but I ran up like an $800 bar tab. But it was a family bar, so I could pay it down.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of
Yeah.
drinks.
Okay.
Alcohol, good.
Yeah,
Most
I don't
of the
do
time,
gay.
what I ordered was always like one of the cheap, like $3 well drinks. So I didn't have to worry about spending a lot of money to get trashed.
I always preferred well bourbon. I'd always get a bourbon and a water back. And I actually influenced what bourbon that they carry now to this very day. I'm like, dude, if you're gonna have low shelf bourbon, go buy Old Crow. Because I couldn't convince them to buy Ezra Brooks because that was 90 proof.
Mm.
Yeah, see, for me, like I was a shots person, like, and usually, one of my favorite bars that I used to go to, they would have like, these shots are only $1, and it'd be like kamikazes. Oh my god, kamikazes! Oh, they were
That's my
amazing,
favorite drink.
right? Like
Yep.
I fucking love kamikazes, and it's
Same.
just like, and they were only $1, so I was just like, fuck yeah,
Where was
give me
that
10.
at?
Remember the bowling alley?
Which bowling alley?
The main one, not the crappy one that the ATM worked at.
So Brunswick.
Yes. Well, I was trying not to say the name
Why?
because I don't know how many of those are out there.
Because now her
A lot.
stalkers are going to be hanging out at the bowling alley waiting for her to get drunk.
Well,
No,
I don't.
Trust
I
me,
don't.
there's a decent amount of them in SoCal, and there's even some up here.
Okay,
You're
but
good.
yeah, but the lounge or whatever, the bar that was in there,
Mhm.
especially on karaoke nights, which was I forget which night, but on karaoke nights they would have like a random shot of the night that was only $1 for like a few hours, like for like 3 hours, and one of the main ones they used to always do was kamikaze, and I'm just like, yes, please. And then what was the other one? Snakebite, I think. I think it was Snakebite was the other one. I didn't care for that, but I really loved kamikaze. Like I fell in love with kamikazes after that.
Byron, if you're not suspended off of Twitter still, I sent you a link, and Bubonic says, "Fuck you guys! Now I'm high as fuck, staring down the candy bar rack at the gas station."
We didn't do nothing. We did not do nothing, Bubonic. You're the one who's staring.
Just get
We're talking
Gone
about
to the store
drinks.
the day after Halloween to get cheap candy, like I did.
oh, that's the saddest thing to me about being poor is that I know when the clearance sales really kick in on shit. Because like around here it gets up to like 90% before they boot it off the shelves. And I used to love going when it was like 75% or higher, and just scooping up. Hey, I've never tried this candy before. Let's get it.
Yeah.
Because you get $1 candy bar for $0.25, and shit makes me feel like I'm back in the old days when I was growing up.
I totally did not go and do the candy thing, the discounted candy thing this year, because I was just like, fuck it. Like, I've not been, I don't know. But I did go and look at some of the Halloween stuff, and I wound up picking up some makeup because instead of it being like, I don't know, $5, it was only like $1 or $2 or some bullshit like that. And I'm like, deal. And
Mm.
and I'm not a makeup person, but I'm learning now because I'm becoming a girl and I don't like it. Ugh,
She's transitioning.
yeah,
It's a process.
It,
it really is.
it makes me think of the Major Payne, the movie with Damon Wayans, where the little kid tried to hug him, and then he puts him in a chicken wing, and the girl makes him let him go. He's like, she's like, well, why didn't you like that? He's like, I don't know what that was, and she's like, it was a hug. Well, I don't like it. It made me feel funny.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never been much of a girly girl, and then now I've been having moments where I'm just like, ooh, I should see what this makeup is like on me. Ooh, this might look nice. Ooh, I could look I could look pretty with this. And I don't know how to handle it, and I don't know what to do about it. And
Well, let's
and
put it this way. My wife, before we met, I was one of the people who actually reinforced that I think she's beautiful, and so she started doing girly stuff, and now we legit have enough nail polish to open up a nail polish store.
oh god.
She has literally a whole closet shelf, um, and I got her like little tote cases. So now she she breaks her colors down into the totes, like the feminine colors here, the masculine colors here. Here's my glitter stuff. Here's the glow in the dark stuff. It's a lot of goddamn nail polish, and I don't know what the fuck she's gonna do with it, because she ain't got enough fingers. Oh. Just for everybody's to make sure that everybody's well informed, Bubonic did go with the Sniggers.
Kid
Because
choice.
it satisfies.
Nothing satisfies like a nice snigger.
Now I remember when their jingle was Snickers satisfies you, and I was thinking, well, I guess it's cheaper than a vibrator.
Wow. I don't think the plastic wrapper would feel very good though.
You take the wrapper off.
Okay, I don't want to
yeah, but
either.
Unless it's like a fucking Chico stick or a nut log, then yeah, you take your they could theoretically sterilize you. So no Chico sticks, no nut logs.
I was not planning on any of that, Doc, but thank you for the imagery. Like,
That's your public service announcement for this evening.
Always take wrappers off of candy bars before inserting them into your body.
Written in PSA.
Masturbating with sandpaper is never a good idea.
Oh my god. Don't do that.
that reminds me, I saw this video of of a of a dildo attached to a drill.
So
That's terrifying.
So it's a drill dough?
It was a drill dough, and then like it was turned on beforehand, and then turned off, and then inserted, and then turned on, and I was just like, the drill bit's gonna break. The drill bit is gonna break. What the fuck are you doing? Because when they first turned it on beforehand, like you see this thing like helicoptering around wildly. And I'm imagining like what the fuck is about to happen.
Well,
No.
it's like those one glass vibrators that they have, well, dildos, that run the arc of electricity through it.
Oh yeah, I've seen those too.
That just sounds awful.
For real though.
That sounds intensely painful.
There's some electricity play is a thing.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
shock
It's
play,
not a
I
good
should say.
thing.
Oh yeah,
Hmm?
one of the youngins that I was going out with at the time. What, I was like 42, and I think she was 22.
Oh god.
Brought me to a sex club, and I was. It was so funny because I was wearing a pair of dark jeans and a black T-shirt, and I had it tucked in. It was the old. Well, actually, it was funny back then, but it's kind of played out now. It says, "Silence is golden, duct tape is silver."
Yeah.
I was standing there, kind of with my arms crossed, watching her run around. They had a whip exhibit, which there was a legit probably 40 or 50 different styles of whips, and you could pick whichever one that you wanted. If you wanted somebody to actually whip you, somebody that you came to the club with, then they could do it, or they could have their expert on staff whip you. But they also had one for the electroshock. And it was so funny because they had a male and a female line. There was, a male delivering shocks as well as a female. And it's so funny because the male had like almost literally nobody in his line, and everybody was lined up so that the tattooed goth chick could do the shocking. Both men and women both. So I'm bored, and I'm like, well, fuck it. So I go over to the guy, and I'm like, well, what is this? And he's like, well, you have to make sure and sign this waiver, blah blah blah. So we're gonna take low currents of electricity and run it through you. And I'm like, well, run it through where? And he's like, where do you want it run through? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure my balls, asshole, and taint are off the table. And he's like, well, we'll start it off easy. And he shocked my temples. He shocked the base of my skull. And then he's like, are you feeling adventurous? And I was like, as long as it doesn't concern those three things that we discussed previously. So he had me pull up my shirt, and he shocked my nipples. And I tell you what, the shock at the base of the neck, that one was kind of cool. And good morning, Azalea.
Hi, Azalea.
I feel like I should ask at this point, am I supposed to be aroused?
Do you want me to shock you?
If the answer is no, then just say so, and I'll work on bringing that down.
Would you like me to shock you?
No, I'm just saying, like, am I supposed to be aroused? Not saying I am, just am I supposed to be?
You can be if you want, if this is something that arouses you.
I'm fine. We're good.
Azalea,
We're good.
Azalea sent me a video that's called the Clit O'Clock Consumer Report.
Oh gods, no! I've seen that. And then Azalea, tell me you've seen Mary Cuntmas. That one was my favorite. Was Cuntmas. The Consumer Report thing is this haggard looking older lady. She looks like she's okay. If you've ever seen The Simpsons, no, not Simpsons, Futurama, the smoker woman. I never remember her name, but that's what this lady looks like, except with really fake tits instead of the saggy ones. And
this lady is probably either a well-worn 50s or 60s, and she has huge titties, and her hair is teased out. And she spent the first minute of the video with her hands down her boxer shorts.
There's a reason why.
I don't want to know.
Well, okay, so let me explain to you this. So the Clit O'Clock is an alarm clock that is attached more or less to your clitoris, and is supposed to wake you with an orgasm. The clit. The thing is, if you get it wet, I apparently it will shock you, and so that's why her hand is down her boxers for a majority of the video, because she was not happy with the results because it hurt, and she was still in pain. So,
little kids, you only have to tell them once to keep their hands out of their pants and away from their crotch. This message was not passed on to this raggedy bitch.
Azalea, please look up Cuntmas.
Did you just say you only have to tell children once to keep their hands out of their pants?
Well, yeah, I did. I know, but kids being able to process stuff, sometimes you got to say it a couple times, but with an adult, especially an adult of her age, that's highly unacceptable.
Yes, she did. She got passed out drunk, pissed herself, and electrocuted herself.
Oh, well, no, that makes sense. She's a literal trailer park hooker. Okay.
Yep. She's so entertaining to watch, though. Like, honestly, I can barely understand half of what she says most of the time, but like, hot damn, like, she almost makes me feel better about my life, except for the fact that I'm like,
let me hear her voice.
I just don't understand why you got to go and buy yourself some sort of contraption to apply some sort of electrical shock to your pussy. You get yourself a 9-volt battery and some alligator clips, and you can do it yourself.
Okay, yeah. She's a thought. She's a decrepit thought. That's so sad. But at least she found the perfect trailer park. Because if she's a hooker, that means at least she's getting business.
I mean, when you're in the trailer park, though, like, hooking for a pack of cigarettes probably ain't the best idea anyway.
Well, to each their own. I mean, if that fulfills the need, I mean, goods for services.
I suppose. I guess, like, if you need sex like absolutely need it, and you're just like, oh, and money too, cool.
See,
Go for it. I don't know.
see, and that always proves my point that women have a better physical commodity because when's the last time? And I think Anta here can back me up on this. When a guy's like, well, I'll give you some dick for a pack of cigarettes. I don't think I've ever been able to trade my cocksman skill for consumer goods.
That is only a viable option in certain parts of Massachusetts, as well as certain prisons.
Well, I'm talking, yeah, I'm talking male to female. I mean, the rules change when
Oh yeah, no,
it's same
you're right.
sex.
I just thought in general, yeah. I've only ever seen that sort of thing work in gay communities. I've never seen it work outside of that.
Uh, uh, it was funny. My ex codependent, whom I was with for like 10 years, um, she was a fag hag, so she loved going to the gay clubs, especially when they were doing runway shows. And one of her friends came up to me and goes, "Oh, you're so cute. I'd love to see your dick." And I I I had to think about it for a second and go, no.
You're right. I'm certain you'll love to see my dick, but the question is, am I going to be surprised by your dick?
Well, and girlfriend bought me a shit ton of drinks. Like she was going to be taking me home at the end of the night, and it's like, well, my fag hag is right here next to me. So, if anybody's getting the booty, you're liquoring me up to take care of her tonight. And
So there wasn't some sort of threesome in the works. I mean, you couldn't have finagled that somehow.
well, no, my because I'm thinking potentially something would have ended up very close to my ass and made it awkward.
Good night,
Yeah,
Sparky.
it could have been a little weird. Next thing you know, there's just dick everywhere, and none of it's yours.
Good night, Sparky. Well, it's funny. The first threesome that I ever had, I was, yeah, 13. I
Wow.
was still in junior high
Our
school.
girl, I'm so proud.
We were doing we were doing one of those, theater in the round things, doing a musical outdoors, and it was all kids from high school and junior high school. And we ran into a girl, and her name was Hickey Vicky. And she kept buggering around two of us in particular. So we were like, oh well, I guess we're getting booty tonight. So I go over, and the guy who came with us, because it was MMF. And the guy who came with us, I always had the suspicion that he was gay, but he was. She blew him first, and then I was doing oral on her, and she got a little too drunk, and I was like, well, back in the day, I still had some chivalry to me. So I'm like, you know what, I'm not gonna fuck a fish at this point, because she's just kind of laying there, and he turns and looks at me and goes, well, if you want, I could just suck your dick. And once again, it was probably the first time that I used the phrase, no, thank you. And he's like, well, it doesn't matter, man. It's all the same lips. And then, like, once we graduated, I caught up with him about a year later outside of school, and he was full-blown gay. And the first thing he said to me was, besides, how are you doing, was, You know, you really should have let me suck your dick that night. I was real good at it. And I'm like,
Well,
bless your heart. I'm sure you were.
I only have two questions. The first one is very relevant to what you just said. What do you mean were? Like, was really good at? Did he stop being good at it now?
Um,
Did he lose his abilities?
Honestly, I didn't ask him to roll that beautiful bean footage. So
You should have, like, for the benefit of everyone.
yeah,
Now we'll never know.
I dropped it like it was hot right then and there.
The other thing isn't so much a question, so much as whenever someone says something dumb like, "Oh, it's the same lips," or "You wouldn't know," that's a lie. It's not the same lips. Your lips are attached to a man. That's kind of a no. That's kind of a no go for me. That's kind of a deal breaker there. Just, your lips are on a dude. That makes me just less inclined to be okay with those lips being on my penis.
Yeah, and you know, honestly, being the age that I was, it was like, oh man, I don't know. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking, well, he's making a point, but I got a feeling there might be some reciprocation down the road. So I'm gonna have to pass. Well,
see, my experience when it comes to something like that was I was in an FFM threesome, and
yeah, I like
put
those
in
better.
a lot of work and never got any reciprocation from either. So,
Well, I can say that I've done quite a few of them. I'd say the weirdest one was probably when I did a foursome, and it was three girls and me. And I literally had one riding on my face while giving me head, you know, doing the 69, and the other girls just having me do hand action on them. So I was literally fisting two girls at once while I was doing a 69.
Please don't
like
die.
full fist.
Half hand. You know, I didn't want to be pretentious and do the whole fist, so I just did half the hand.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, the idea of fisting women has zero appeal to me at all. Not even a little bit.
Yeah, I'll do it occasionally if it's you know, something unique. If it gets the person off, if it's something that they really like. But if they call me daddy while I'm fisting them, then it's over.
Oh God.
My hand will go limp.
Like, I guess if, like, the woman I'm with is like, "Oh yeah, I really want to feel your fist inside me," well, I guess I'll give it a shot. I try to make my woman happy, but
Oh, dude, I fisted this girl once that it was like Chinese fucking finger cuffs. She did the because she was a devout follower of the Kegel exercises, and she was like, "Now watch this," and she clamped down on my fucking hand, and I'm like, "God damn it, you just bear trapped me in your pussy. Quit it."
Yeah. See, that's one of the things. If a guy had ever tried to fist me, I will break his fucking hand with my vagina.
I was like 99% certain you were about to say if a guy ever asked me to fist him. I'm glad this conversation didn't go the way I thought it was going to go.
Well,
are you saying you would ask me to fist you?
Never. That is going to be one of the things that just never comes out of my face.
Hey, come on now. Deadpool got pegged, so now it's popular.
I want to point out that if you watch that scene, he never got pegged. In fact, he said, "Nap, nap, nap," and that was the end of the scene.
No, she got a couple
Not
thrusts in.
I don't know about that.
Rewatch it.
I don't think I want to rewatch that scene that heavily. Just that was painful to me. Like, I felt sympathy pains in my O-ring. You know what I mean?
Oh, I've never had any type of similar pain except for when they did the lower GI on me.
Oh, how'd that go?
Well,
Good night, Mr. LM.
everything lit up.
Everything lit up.
Yeah, because they put that barium in you, and then they do the X-ray, so it lights up your your colon and your lower intestine. Yeah. A very good morning to you, Mr. LM002.
Good morning and good night.
And a good morning to Everyday Man.
Hey, everyday man.
You know, we got to get Everyday
and-
Man on, because Everyday Man has not been on. We need to get
Yeah.
Azalea on too.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm gonna agree with you and Mr. LM. Um, and I know Muffin agrees too, but the whole daddy thing is just disturbing to me.
Yes.
Uh,
Same.
yeah, it doesn't make a difference what language it's in. Mucho caliente, ay papi. No.
Ugh, ugh, ugh.
I'm kind of a
What?
sucker for languages in general. I'm 90% certain a woman could call me a fucking piece of shit in bed, and if she said a different language that I didn't understand, I'd be totally okay with it. I'd probably get into it. I'd probably get harder.
What are you doing, Kat? What, did
See,
Timmy fall down the well?
I can't with the daddy thing. Like, I'll jokingly call somebody that just because, like, that entertains me. That's funny. But if I ever call someone daddy, um, if I ever call you daddy, that means there's absolutely zero intent on my end that I would ever want to do anything with you.
All right, you guys.
It's a thing.
Um,
and it doesn't matter what language it's said in. Like, I know how to say it in enough different languages. Like, it doesn't matter to me. If I ever said it to you in any other language either, same general rule, then I'm not fucking touching you.
The only person I would ever willingly call daddy is Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yeah.
but that's only by request, right?
Yes.
I just watched the channel's called Bat in the Sun, and they do a show called Superpower Beatdown.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
The most recent one they had, the most recent one was a Halloween one that I didn't understand because I don't know who the Look-See is. But they had him versus Michael Myers. But before that, they had Joker versus Negan.
Mm-hmm. Crowbar versus Lucille.
Yeah, pretty much. But if you're catering to a comic book audience, or people who think that they're comic book geeks, Joker, Joker was going to win. There was no way that Negan was going to win because barely anybody reads the damn Walking Dead books.
Well, yeah, and on top of that, it's super powered beatdown. It's I believe it's just based off of fan votes anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So there, it's retarded. Like, I never watch it after I watch one episode because it's just like, oh, this is the most popular one. So it's not an actual, like, look into powers and abilities. It's just this is who the fans have the biggest hard-ons for. Okay, go for it.
Yeah, but it is cool though that they film both outcomes, so you can actually take a look. Like when they post it a week later, they'll post the alternate ending where the other person wins. But my favorite is they still did they did one of Batman versus Deadpool.
Batman won.
It was more kind of a draw, because
Yeah.
because Deadpool was more irritating the shit out of him. So Batman blew him up, blew him into pieces. And you can blow up Batman, but or you can blow up Deadpool, but that doesn't kill him.
Yeah.
Deadpool's one of those guys who it's like, there's no point in putting up against pretty much anybody because Deadpool was kind of designed to be unkillable. It's like if you're a serious fucking mega nerd, it's like putting any other sci-fi universe against the Warhammer 40K universe. It's not the other sci-fi universe is bad. It's that the other one is just too fucking good. And it's not other superheroes are terrible or can't or are useless. It's just that Deadpool was designed to break every single barrier and smash all the fourth walls and to be an unstoppable force of comedy 24/7.
Well, and I don't know if you're geek enough for this, but there are people who put out like fights between, like, Star Wars and Star Trek seem to be the most popular space battle ones, and they also did one with what was it, Babylon 5 and Battlestar Galactica, and they do those kind of yeah beat downs, and it's like, well, you guys, this is really hard to gauge because the technologies are different. They're completely different. Like Star Trek has shields, Star Wars definitely does not. I mean, they have like ablative armor on, but as far as it goes, it's really not a match when one shot you can go through their fucking hull. Drop Deadpool in acid, problem solved. Yeah, theoretically.
I don't know about that. And I would specifically cite that Wolverine has entire skeleton ripped out by Magneto, and then the remaining fleshy bits were dumped into a vat of molten steel, and he regenerated from that.
Oh, so he's more badass than Terminator.
Yeah, Deadpool canonically has had his head literally exploded and also imploded on a few occasions, and has still come back from that. On top of that, he's also, in at least one universe, the reason that the Venom symbiote is insane and is bonded with roughly 4 symbiotes at once.
Bubonic, you are correct in a certain way. Yes, they do refer to Star Wars having shield generators, but the shield generators are for fixed or stationary targets. None of their ships actually had any type of shielding technology. Wait a minute. Star Trek doesn't have a Death Star, just commie pussies. Maybe. And yeah, I was serious. If you wanted to stop in Azalea, just hit me up on the Twatters. Same thing, everyday man. If you'd like to jump on and shoot the shit for a little bit, I'm trying to make sure that I have better clock management because, of course, we're trying to make sure that this is going to be conducive to Cadunt's work cycle.
Makes sense.
Because I have no job.
Lucky.
I won't be getting a job anytime too soon. I mean, not due to laziness, but if I'm, it was so funny. Somebody's like, well, there's a ton of fast food jobs, and I'm like, oh yeah, I can be on my feet for about an hour. And then I start getting a little tipsy, and the last thing I want to do is lose my balance and land in the deep fat fryer.
That would not be fun.
It would suck. Oh, my brother used to be a crew chief for McDonald's back in the day, and they hired a couple of speds to come in, like special education people, autistic. I guess. I don't know. That definition keeps changing. So He was mentally retarded, but he could perform basic jobs. Now, here's the funny thing. Um, well, I guess it's funny. He always liked to wear his dad's military ring. It was one of his prized possessions, and one day they decided to let him work the fryer, and the ring fell off into the fryer.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, and so he basically, safety first. He turned off the deep vat fryer, but he thought that once you turned it off, it automatically went cold.
Oh no.
Yes, he reached in, and by the time it had the chance to register, he had third degree burns all over his hand.
Oh.
You know, you could always just pick the basket up,
That.
shake the
that-
grease off it, dump it onto a towel, and wait for it to cool down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would have been, an intelligent thought.
Oh,
But he would imparted.
and if she's not picking on nigglets, she's picking on retards. What the hell?
What?
Well, we're not picking on him. We're just pointing out that he really did an incredibly fucking stupid thing.
Oh no, this is I forgot. Y'all don't know me in real life. One of the vices I'm very aware of, and I'm struggling to change, is that I have absolutely no fucking patience at all for working with people who are slow. I used to work at Home Depot, and they make it a point to hire a lot of people with special needs. And pardon me, they mostly, honestly, they use the crap out of them because they mostly use them as the guys who go out in the parking lot and clean up, rain or shine. So you have these poor guys out there in 90, 95-degree weather, wearing full gear, picking up garbage all day and that kind of stuff. But we also occasionally had to work with them doing order fulfillment work. So putting together orders and working with contractors, things like that. And they're basically darn near incapable of paying attention to really anything. These ones we had. And so it was really awkward for me because I'm really bad at dealing with that sort of thing.
Anti, you're getting really muffled on my end.
It's probably my shitty internet connection.
Okay, cats to the left of me, cats to the right. What the fuck do you guys want?
Yes.
You have been fed, you have been watered. There is no such thing as people food. It does not exist in your diet.
Hey guys,
Yeah.
I have to go because I have to be up in 5 hours for work.
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, we appreciate the drive by.
No problem. I'm glad I could finally make one. I'm sorry I haven't been home to be on your streams, but special people are important.
Yeah, we know you're only here for the Kadant. We get it.
Not just for her. I think you're really awesome too.
Oh, shucks.
That's why I carry your bag around everywhere I go.
She is just lying to you.
That's so sweet. And honestly, I showed it to the artist who drew the chibi head for me. And
Yeah.
and I was like, can I put this in the store? And she's like, oh yeah, sure. Go ahead. And then came back to me like 3 weeks after I'd put it on. And she's like, yeah, I don't like that. Could you take it down? And it's like, you that previous day had actually bought the bag. So you have a one of a kind.
Do I really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sweet.
And
That's awesome.
and I like the little chibi head too.
Me too.
But things being
Well-
as they are.
If I ever meet you in real life, will you sign it?
Yeah, I don't see. Well, it will decrease the value. I guarantee it.
Why?
Now, if I signed one of my books, maybe after I'm dead posthumously, it might be worth something. But
Well, I'm not doing it for the worth.
uh,
Wasn't planning on selling it, even if it ended up being worth a lot of money.
She had me sign the hard copy. Technically, it's like the first and only edition of one of the books that I had written. Um, because I would like after each chapter or whatever, I would give her the printed out paper, and she kept and gathered every single one, and then asked me to sign it, and I'm like, well, fuck, why?
No, no, I'm like, I have a Coca-Cola can that I had Zell sign years ago.
Yeah, I remember that.
yeah, I think the weirdest thing that I ever signed was we were doing a karaoke competition that I eventually won, and a guy came up with a bottle of Dom Perignon, and he was like, "Man, can you sign this?" And I'm like, "Okay, but why?" And he's like, "Cause you got a great voice, man. You know, you're gonna go far." And I'm already into my late 20s, and I'm like, "Yeah, I don't think a singing career is actually gonna happen."
It could have, you never know.
Well, it
Uh,
was funny. I dropped out of school after college out of the after the first year, and I was in the acting program, and they and all my teachers were like, "Well, you know what? If the acting thing isn't working out for you, don't quit school. Just change your major and become a vocalist." And I'm like, nah. I need to rejoin the workforce so I can actually have money.
Yeah.
So apparently they thought I was good. I don't know.
All
Um,
right. That's pretty cool, though. I've never had anybody ask me to sign a bottle of like booze after I was done doing karaoke.
no, I was. See, I know how to work the gimmicks because I was also a KJ for quite a long time. So I gauge the crowd and I've got a repertoire. Although I did show Kadant, um, somebody bet me that I couldn't sing 100 songs in a row without any duplications.
That's easy.
Oh, I honestly think it is too. And the people that I was working with at the time, they were following me onto Facebook, uh, seeing what the new slew of songs that I did. People seem to be interested in that kind of foolishness.
All right. Considering that my master playlist on my Spotify is over 3,000 songs, doing 100 songs in a row would be really easy.
Yeah, I think I got up to 115, and
Nice.
and then I stopped. Um, damn it.
All
Oh,
right. I really do have to go, though. I
yeah.
need sleep.
okay, well, do you have anything you'd like to show?
Uh, if you want, you can uh subscribe to my YouTube channel. There's nothing on it at the moment, but eventually there will be. Um, Also, you can follow me on Twitter. I don't have my link handy. It's just at Muffin Button 5. Uh, you can follow me there too. I don't know. Whatever you want. You also don't have to do anything. It's up to you. Yeah.
I'm not forcing you to do it, but all the popular kids are doing it.
I don't know about all the popular kids. I think I have some popular kids,
Mm.
but that's enough for me.
I'm not saying you have to go do it, but you have to go do
You don't have to. It's okay.
By the way,
Thank
if you
you.
would, Muffin, go ahead and just type into the chat because in that way they can just side click and hop right over to your channel.
Okay. All right. There you go.
Cool.
Thank you so very, very much, Doc, for having me on. I really missed this.
It's my pleasure, and like I've said, BTS, the door's always open,
Well, thank you. I appreciate you, sir.
and I appreciate you. Please do have a wonderful rest of your morning.
You too. Bye, Anti. I'll talk to you later. Kident, I love you.
Love you too,
Peace.
Muffin.
Bye.
Bye.
I hate to say this, but I'm fading.
No worries.
Man, I'm the only one who's wide awake tonight. Jeez.
Well, you know,
Not the only one.
trying to quell the urge for homicide, kind of took it out of me.
That guy, that guy sounded kind of like a giant doucher.
Um,
Like,
like
I mean,
like I was saying, if you get a chance to watch the movie Papadopoulos, that should have been the warning card for me.
like here's my question here, and if you don't mind me throwing my own 2 cents into the mix there,
Well, sure.
this guy acts like it sounds like he was acting like he was some kind of big shot, but from what you said, he makes B-movie schlock films.
Yeah, he's made over 150 of them.
Yeah. So what room exactly do you have to sit there and talk like you're Mr. Big Shot?
Oh, I don't know. I think his next film, which is already in the can, is going to put him over the top. Who wouldn't want to go watch a movie called Piranaconda?
Over the top of what?
Um,
Other schlockmeisters?
yeah, because there's not too many of them left.
Well, yeah, because DirecTV has gotten a hold of most of them. I mean, you take a look at the Sci-Fi Channel; they've got the number on schlocky movie monster flicks.
Well, it got to the point where he was doing so many movies that he started creating pseudonyms. He's got like 4 or 5 pseudonyms instead of using the Wynorski thing because he didn't want people to get burned out seeing his name as director all the time. I hated to tell him, but most people don't even look at the director.
Yeah, I don't think I know any of the directors of my favorite beam rate monster flicks. Like, I'm a massive fan of the Tremors franchise. I have no idea who directed it.
Neither do I. But
I think Michael Gross actually directed the last 2 of them, but don't quote me on that.
Bubonic, we try to get Muffin on all the time, but she's got that IRL deal that she's got to take care of.
Unlike most of us, Muffin actually has a real life.
Yeah, I would love to have a real life, but if I didn't, then I wouldn't be doing this.
I haven't been a real person for years. I've just accepted it now.
Yeah, I mean, legit, I've been held up in the house for 4 fucking years, and ugh, it gets tiresome. It gets bothersome. It makes you go to the edge of the abyss and peer down and see if it stares back at you.
And did it? Did it stare back
It actually winked at me.
with one brown eye?
Mm-hmm. The evil starfish.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, but I think I'm gonna call it because I'm getting dopey as a motherfucker.
No worries. Actually, this would be about a good time to be calling it anyway. Considering. So,
What are we considering?
anti-hero, you want to show?
Man, I suppose I can chill. I'm Antihero. You can go ahead and follow me on Twitter at AntiheroCast. You could theoretically subscribe to my YouTube channel. However, I do so very little and produce so very little content on my own that it would not be a fruitful use of your time. What you should do is, if you're not already subbed to Doc Griffin, both on Twitter and here, you should do that. Um, it may also be of interest for you to subscribe to Moonifest Destiny, which is run by the lovely Lo-Fi and the incredibly intelligent Tyro. They both do quite a lot of content. They do a very good job. If you like comedy news and you don't mind character work, then I would also suggest that you head over Monday nights to Help for the Guildless, where you will see something called Army of Snarkness, which, with any luck, will be fun. Other than that, I got nothing.
God, I thought you were gonna say mundane Matt for just a second.
Oh God, no! I don't hate myself or people who like me.
Yeah, but he's got boulders.
Right.
So are you gonna throw some links there in the side?
I mean, no. I guess I could.
Well, yeah, and if nothing else, once again, as long as you type into the chat everybody's wrench so they can pop over to the page. If you don't want to put the link in.
Give me 1 second. I'll throw some links.
Alrighty. Thank you. Plus, I think we got to figure out how to keep this bloody thing within a manageable time frame.
Yeah, I think we're doing it just fine. I mean, this one's been maybe just barely over 2 hours, so that works.
Yeah, we're right at the 2 hour mark. Well, actually, 1 hour, 59 minutes, and 10 seconds. And Kadant, what you up to?
Nothing.
You got some shows that you're on.
Yeah, I'm on this one. Anti-Hero's already linked in Moonerfest. So, and which has Not Safe for Wednesdays. Every once in a while, when we can figure it out on Wednesdays. If not, you can always subscribe to Anti-Hero, since that has been our beautifully glorious backup.
And currently it's the surrogate channel for Lo-Fi right now too, isn't it?
Not quite. It's she's been doing it on Fest whenever she can get it to work. But no, our Not Safe for Wednesday episodes have been on Anti-Hero's channel because he's been kind enough to host us, which is greatly appreciated. But yeah, all the stuff I'm in, like sub to Doc, sub to Lo-Fi, sub to Anti-Hero. There you go.
Well, I appreciate that, and yeah, definitely. If you tune into Doctor on Call, which is my main show, you will see quite a few links of YouTubers that I like. So even if you don't want to do the replay, if you're looking for additional entertaining and interesting content, then I would wholeheartedly suggest checking them out. If you like them, you put a like down, you do your picking and clicking to sub, and then of course, rang the bell. I saw an orange box and I was like, what the hell? It's like Canuck being sneaky again. Yeah, let's go ahead and I'll shill out what I got. Currently, right now, the show is running on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. And as long as you ignore the first one in this graphic, which is, of course, Jim Wynorski. I'm going to have to put like a red slash over him or something. Although, normally when I do, when somebody does bail, I will take the time to just fill in so you know a little bit more. Oh my God. I just completely lost it. I don't know what the fuck is going on in my brain, but I just completely lost. The train not only derailed, it came off the tracks, and the poisonous gas rail cars have spilled open. I am
Oh shit.
so brain damaged at this point. Um, so yeah, I'd like to thank, of course, Muffin Button for coming on. Of course, Anti-Hero. The lovely and venerable co-host of mine, Kadan. And I'd like to wish everybody, of course, it's a Sunday. Sunday's a fun day. So hopefully, if you don't have to work, you'll go out and do something and have a good time. If you have to stay at work, then at least do the best you can, because, as long as you don't half-ass it, the time is going to fly. But as honestly, as for me, folks, well, I'm going to bed, fuckers. Bye.
Later.
Peace.